Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Hello, how are you all? Hope you are fine with the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NFSM School, and this is Ariful Islam, Assistant Teacher of English, National International School, Morning Shift. Today I am going to conduct an English second paper class for class 7 students. Our today's topic, voice tense assertive. Let's see our today's class. Class 7, subject English second paper, topic voice discussion, term Haveli, lecture 5, SW4, teacher Ariful Islam. This is my mobile number and today's date. So let's start the class. So our today's topic voice Haveli exam lecture 5. So let's see the definition. The definition will not come in the exam. Definition of voice. Voice is the form of a verb which is used to say what people or things do or what is done to them. Voice is of two types, active voice and passive voice. So active voice is the form of a verb which is used to say what the subject does. Passive voice is the form of a verb which is used to say what happens to the subject. So example, active voice, he writes a letter, he is the active person here. Passive voice, a letter is written by him. We will discuss later. So this one is very important. Object. What is an object? How will we find object in a sentence? Object. So she gives me a book. In this sentence, if we ask the verb gives by what and whom, what does she give? A book. A book is an object. Whom does she give? Me. So me is an object. Okay. So there are two types of object, direct object and indirect object. So direct object in this sentence, a book is a direct object, and direct object always will be in a thing, non-human things, and indirect object always will be like person. In this sentence, me here is indirect object. Okay. So rules of changing active from passive voice. First one, object becomes subject, auxiliary verb according to tense, past participle of verb, preposition by, subject becomes object. So this rule is very important for changing voice. So let's go to use of auxiliary verbs. This one also very important. Tense, present indefinite tense, we use auxiliary verb am, is, are, continuous, am being, is being, are being, perfect, have been, has been. So all the continuous tenses we use auxiliary verb being after being. Okay. Past tense was, were, auxiliary verb was, being, were, being, perfect, had been. Future tense shall be, will be. Future continuous shall be, being, will be, being. Future perfect shall have been, will have been. This box is very important for you. And use of defective verbs. Defective verb means we also say modal auxiliary verbs. What will happen in case of defective verbs, modal auxiliary verbs? In case of modal auxiliary verbs, we only add be after this verb. Can be, could be, shall be, should be, will be, would be, may be, might be, must be, used to be, ought to be. The form of subject, this is very important. This is the place of subject and object. I is the subjective form, me is the objective form. He is the subjective form, him is the objective form. We will be us, they will be them, she will be her, you, and name will not be changed. Arif, Mahmud, the boy, the girl, who will be by whom will be who. So these are the rules. So let's go to the first one first. Active voice, he writes the letter. This class is very easy for them, those students who knows the structure of tense. If you do not know the structure of tense, this class is very difficult to you. So in this sentence, he writes. What does he write? Some students say later, not. In this sentence, our later is an object. What does she write? Our later. Our first rule is object becomes subject. So here we will write our later. And our next rule is auxiliary verb according to tense. So what kind of tense? this sentence is. He writes a letter. So writes, present indefinite tense. So let's come to this box. Can you come to this box? In present indefinite tense, we use auxiliary verb am, is, are. Okay. So in this sentence, what we will use? Am, is, or are. Are later. That's why we have to use is. And then past participle of main verb. So write, wrote, written. Then preposition by. And he is a subject, and he will be here objective forms. So he will be here him, because this is the place of objective form. Okay, that's why we have written him. So a letter is written by him. Next sentence, I can help you. In this sentence, you is an object. So you, we have to make you subject in this sentence. You becomes you in the subject also. In this sentence, can is a modal auxiliary verb. So if we find modal auxiliary verb in a sentence, we have to add be after the modal auxiliary verb. Any modal auxiliary verb. Can be, may be, might be. So you can be. So in this case, if you find any modal auxiliary verb in a sentence, you do not go to the auxiliary verb tense box. So you can be, and past participle of main verb help will be helped. So you can be helped. Then we have to use by, we have to add by, and then subject I. I will be in the objective form me. Okay, so you can be helped by me. Let's go to this one. He gave me a book. So in this sentence, we have two objects in this sentence. A book is an object, me is an object. So a book is a direct object and me is an indirect object. So if we find two objects in the sentence, what will we do? We will always take the first object all the time. Remember, we have to take always the first object all the time. Me will be I in the subjective form. Then this is past indefinite tense. We have to use auxiliary verb was or were. So after I, we use auxiliary verb was, and then past participle of main verb I was given, and then this direct object will be used, will be retained in the sentence as a retained object. So I was given a book by, and he will be him at the end. Okay, we can change this bias in a different way. You can also take the last object. Okay, if you take the last object, what will happen? If you take the object a book and give past indefinite tense, we have to use was a book. That's why was a book was given, and before that indirect object we have to add to or for. This is very difficult. Okay, before the indirect object we have to add to or for. So after given, the verb given take the preposition to. That's why we have to add to here. So a book was given to me by, he will be him. I always suggest you to take the first object all the time. Okay, let's come to the board again. So change the following active voice into passive. Active, she writes a letter. In this sentence, a letter is an object. This will be subject. A letter. And present indefinite tense, we have to use is. Past participle of main verb written. We have to use by. She will be her. Okay. She is calling me. Me is the object. Me will be I in the subject. And is calling present continuous tense, we have to use am being, is being, are being. So after I, we use am being. And then past participle of main verb called, preposition by, and she will be in the object her. Okay? The teacher has advised us. We is the object. We will, us will be we in the subjective form. And this is present perfect tense. That's why we have to use have been or has been. After we use have been, advised, past participle of main verb, by the teacher. I lost my was. In this sentence, my was is the object. This will be subject, my was. So lost is the past indefinite tense. We have to use was. past participle of main verb lost by I will be me in the objective form. They were making a stage. A stage here object. We have to make its subject I stage, and we're making past continuous tense. We have to use auxiliary verb was being, were being. I stage, that's why we have to use was being. Past participle of main verb made by they will be them at the end. I had done the sum. The sum here object. This will be subject. The sum, and had not done past perfect tense. So we have to use auxiliary verb had not been, and then past participle of the verb is given by I will be me at the end. I shall see a bird. A bird here is object. You have to make it subject. So a bird. Shall see future indefinite. We have to use shall be or will be. We use will be. A bird will be past participle of main verb see, saw, seen, preposition by, subject I will be me in the objective form. You may not do the sum. The sum here in the object. We have to make it subject, the sum. Then this is, we have here modal auxiliary verb has been used. So after may, we do not need any tense. May will be maybe, the sum may be, do, did, done past participle from the main verb, by, you will be you in the object. We can do it. It is the object. We have made it subject. Can modal auxiliary verb. We have to use can be. Past participle of main verb done by we will be us in the objective form. She dreamed a nice dream. So a nice dream is the objective form. So a nice dream. Dream past indefinite tense. We have to use was. A dream, that's why dreamed by her. Okay. He told me a story. We can change it in two ways. Here we find two objects, me and I story. We always take the first object. I, me will be I in the subjective form. Told past indefinite tense, we have to use was, and then past participle of main verb. I was told. I story will be retained as written object by he will be him at the objective form. Passive form, we can take it the second object I story again was past participle of main verb told, and before the indirect object we have to add to or for. So told to me by him. He gave me a was. A was here is a was is object, me is an object. We take the first object. I was past indefinite tense, that's why I was given a was written object by he will be him in the objective form. We can change it taking the second object, was past indefinite tense, that's why was will be used. Past participle of main verb was given. Then we can use to me. Before the indirect object we have to add to or for. To me by him. Next one, he called me a fool. In this case, you can now take the second object because this is called factitive object. You have to take the first object. If you take the second object, your answer will be wrong. So I, me will be I, past indefinite tense, I was called a fool by him. In this case, you cannot take the second object because this is called factitive object. What is a factitive object? After any verb, if there is one object without another object, if the sentence cannot express its meaning, this is called factitive object. He looks at the picture. So here the picture is the subject. Looks present indefinite tense, that's why we have to use is looked at. So if preposition is given in the sentence, we have to add the preposition after the verb. This is called group verbs. Looks at called groups verb. So if group verbs is given, we have to add the group verbs. A picture is look at. The picture is look at by him. Okay. They laughed at the blind man. Here object is the blind man. laughed past indefinite tense. So was, we have to use was. The blind man was laughed at by them. His behavior pleased me. This rule is very important. His behavior pleased me. Me will be I. Past indefinite tense pleased. That's why we have to use I was pleased. Pleased. So the verb pleased take the preposition with. I was pleased with. Sorry. If after pleased come person, we have to use with. And if after pleased comes any behavior or anything, we have to use at. So I was pleased at his behavior. He annoyed me. Okay. So in this case, we have not used by, because the pleased verb take preposition at. That's why we cannot use by. If any verbs takes preposition after that, we have to use this preposition, and you do not need to use by. He annoyed me. So I was past indefinite tense annoyed. O-Y-E-D. After annoyed, the verb take preposition with, and he will be him. We haven't used with any preposition by. Smoke filled the room. In this case, the room is the object, and filled past indefinite tense. The room was filled. The verb filled take the preposition in. The room was filled in smoke. We haven't used by because this verb takes preposition in. So my dear student, this will be your SW. SW number 4, submit on Saturday. Since the following active voice is into passive, we should respect our teachers. All his pupils liked him. The cow gives us milk. We had not beaten him. The students were not memorizing the answers. Okay, my dear, this is your SW. Submit on Saturday. So my dear students, do your assigned SW at home and submit on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the school library. That's all for today. Keep practicing at home. Have a good parents. Stay safe. Stay well. See you